Hello, in this quick video, I'm going to show you how you can use GarageBand as a simple way to edit your podcast while you're stuck at home if you don't have access to Adobe Audition right now. First thing, let's go ahead and open up GarageBand. When it first opens, I'm going to choose Empty Project. And because I am doing an audio project, I'm going to use this microphone icon in the middle for doing an audio project. I'm not recording into it because I'm going to use what I've already recorded previously, so I'm going to choose no input here, then hit create. Now before you do anything else, like I preach and everything else, save it first somewhere. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, because by default it's going to save it into your music folder. You can save it there, or as I always recommend, save it to your hard drive. So you would navigate to your external hard drive. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and make a folder for my project. I'm going to call this demo, and we're going to save it. So now that I have that there, I should also move my audio files in there as well, so it's all grabbing from the same spot. But before I even get to bringing the audio in, I need to configure GarageBand to look the way I want it to look for doing this kind of project. So first of all, this library on the left here, this is not the normal library that you use in Audition. This is really a sound effects library. So I'm going to go ahead and close this and get out of the way by clicking on this icon up here. I'm going to come to the top middle here, and I'm going to change the display here because this is really for music with beats and tempo and musical notations. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the drop down and choose time so I can see elapsed time instead. So now I have time code. And I'm going to turn these two buttons off, the count in and the metronome. That way it's more in line for what we need it for. Now to get audio in here, I'm just going to open up my Finder and navigate to where I have audio saved. Again, this should be in your project folder. I'm using something from earlier here, so I'm just going to drag in this raw audio from an interview I did, and there it is. Now it's in my track. To zoom in and out on this, I can't use a keyboard shortcut. I actually have to use this little guy on the top right here to zoom in and out. So I'm going to get to a comfortable level here so I can really do some edits. And then just like in any other program, I hit the space bar to start playing.
Hello, this is Keith. 3, 2,
There, I
1.
messed up. So I want to make a cut right here for my beginning. So I'm going to move my playhead to where I want it. And the shortcut for this is Command T on your keyboard. So Command T, it makes a cut here. And then I can select this first one again and hit delete. And I can click on this one and drag it over to the beginning. And we're just going to go ahead. Oops. Now what I did right here is something that you might do. When you want to move the playhead, make sure you're down here below where the numbers are, not up in this line here. If you drag in this line here, you're creating a spot.
This is Keith Strelby with the student profile. This is Keith Strelby.
Where it wants to keep looping. So that's like a loop effect. To shut that off, if you do that by accident, come up here in the top and just click on this little cycle icon for looping and shut that off, and it gets rid of it. So I'm going to drag my playhead to the beginning.
Hello, this is Keith Strelby with the student profile. Recently I...
Get rid of that little click there. Again, move my playhead, hit Command T, and I can drag this up by just trimming it, but it doesn't matter where I select. I don't want to select the top here because what this does is it does a rolling edit between the two. What I want to do is select down here on the bottom half, and I can trim it back like this. And then I just have to bring this in a line. Hey, I don't know why it's not letting me move it now. There we go. And move that over.
Recently I sat down with Angela Salvatore, a freshman at Sacred Heart University and a student in the broadcast training program.
So again, I'm just going to keep going through and making cuts throughout the whole process. Remove the parts I don't need and move it over. So I can do that for everything, and then if I want to add in another track, so this is only one track I have here, I want to add in more. So for this is just a very simple interview, and I'm going to put some audio underneath it for music for an intro. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm actually going to move this whole top part over so it starts at 5 seconds, so I have a little 5-second music intro. I'm just going to do Command A for selecting everything on the track. I'm going to move it over so it starts at 5 seconds. And now, again, to get more audio in here, I can just click and drag audio to a new track here. And here we go.
Hello, this is Keith Strobey with the Student Profile. Recently I sat down.
Now, of course, I need to adjust the volume here. I have volume set at one thing here, volume set at something else here. So I can adjust the overall volume of a track here with this slider. Now, in order to put a fade into the music, so it's underneath my dialog, I first have to turn on a feature. So I have to go up to Mix and turn on Show Automation. And that's going to go ahead and put this little button on the tracks on the left here. And you can actually see there's a faint line going through the track here now. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to click into this track and then click on that yellow line that appears and make these little keyframes, and now I can adjust the volume up and down.
Hello, this is Keith Strobey with the Student Profile.
And now I've put a fade in. So that is how you can go ahead and cut, add tracks, put a fade in. It's not as good as what Audition is, but it can get you somewhere. The last thing we need to do is get this out of here. So in order to export your final project, you actually come up to the Share menu here and Export Song to Disk. And then choose MP3 and make sure you rename it. Don't leave this gobbledygook at the end where it has the date and the time, because some programs don't like to recognize that afterwards. So I would get rid of that and then just hit your export and make sure you know where it's going first. So it's going to go through, bouncing. I don't know why it says that, but now it's done and you have a completed file. So that is a little basic overview of how to use GarageBand for editing your podcasts.